As we sat around as young people, we'd cook up ideas, and why don't we go do this, that, or the other thing? And I probably, if I have an example, I shouldn't tell it. But you just check your moral compass. Oh, yeah, I'd be willing to do that. I think that'd be a good idea. Instantly somebody would say, well, there's no law against it, and then you would proceed. That's the America I grew up in. But today, when I listen to young people, they sit around and they don't generate as many ideas as I think as we generated in our earlier years. I don't know that, it's just my sense of it. But I generate ideas for them. And they sit there and then they will say, nobody's doing this. There must be a rule against it. That's the difference. We grew up in a world where if there was no law against it, your moral compass guided you. Now we're in a world where you're looking for permission. And I can give you an example, and it's not that far down the road. That was when the Tea Parties lit up here about 2.5 years ago, and they decided they wanted to have a Tea Party protest in Cedar Rapids. And they were going to go dump some tea into the river to protest that we've been taxed enough already. And somebody there, and I just bet you they were under 40, said this, well, we better check with the DNR first to see if we can get a permit. And they checked, and the DNR said, we can't allow you to do that. And so they didn't. Now, that's not really a very high level of civil disobedience. What if there had been a regulation against dumping tea in Boston Harbor? We probably never would have become America. This is what I was trying to describe to you is how it diminishes our dreams and our aspirations to have a nanny state that writes the rules for us to the point where we're looking for permission instead of knowing we're born to be a free people. We're like this great big American economy, this great big American society and culture and civilization is like a Gulliver laying out there while the Lilliputians of regulators tie those ropes around and tie Gulliver down. And we do less and less, and we're going to wake up and find out we can't do anything if we don't reclaim our American freedom and liberty. Excuse me. So, all of these things are tied to the growth side of it, but that is 4 points. Repeal Obamacare, balance the federal budget by an amendment to our United States Constitution, all of the above energy, and that's all the background of my history and my record and things that I believe. And in the growth side of this thing, let's let the free markets go. And I think there's one thing that Republicans, or we'll say Democrats have wrong for a long time and Republicans are starting to slide into. We've been saying for probably 4 or 5 years, jobs, jobs, jobs. Well, we do want jobs. We want employment. I want a lot more people working. I want a lot more people pulling in a wagon and a lot fewer people riding in it. But we need to also recognize that wages are paid out of earned income, out of the private sector. The government consumes the prosperity that's created by the private sector. When the government grows and you hire people to go to work for the government, those are government jobs. That's different for the impact on our economy than the private sector jobs are. I want to see private sector jobs grow. I want to see the government shrink. I want to see private sector investors create and establish the kind of profit that gives them the incentive to invest and invent and train and hire good people so that they can pay good wages and good benefits, and we can do what we know we can do if we can get the government more out of the way. That's my path down through this that I want to see, and the differences are, I think Kristi Vilsack disagrees with me on every single one of those points. And it isn't a hard decision. You know who I am. I'm a full spectrum constitutional conservative. My record says that. And I'm not sure we know who she is, but we do know that she supports Barack Obama and his agenda. That's Obamacare. She said she didn't know how she would have voted on the Civil Rights Act because she wasn't there to make that decision. That's not that hard for me. I'd have supported it. So, in any case, a balanced budget amendment, she opposes a balanced budget amendment. Now, if we can't do those two things, if we can't repeal Obamacare, and if we can't balance the federal budget, what is the destiny for this country? It's debt and deficit, it's nanny state, it's the taking, the unconstitutional takings of your American liberty that gives you the responsibility to make your own decisions on your own health care. I don't want to live in an America that has those kind of restrictions on me. Our founding fathers didn't design that for us, and it's not suitable to this vigorous American people. So I think what I'll do is I'll rest it there. I'll take any kind of questions or comments, but thanks for your attention. I appreciate you very much being out here this morning. Thank you very much.